Hello everyone, welcome back. Severed is here, coming back with part 17 of What If Deku Was Mr. Negative. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has taken O'Neil into his, negative dimension, whereas Izuku, power came from, as he start trying to manipulate O'Neil and break his, power of will. As we end up when Izuku told him that who you are. As before we continue, like, subscribe, and blah 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 that shit, and let's continue. As O'Neil said, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!" And immediately after that, he started throwing, shock waves everywhere, using his, air cannon, or his putting his fingers and just send the shockwave everywhere. As Izuku said, "You can't hurt me here, O'Neil. Nothing can't hurt me here. But I can hurt you. Now, tell me, did you told my father about One for All? Did you tell him that you are the successor of the power of All Might himself? The one that he was about to defeat me, but he couldn't because he have some injury by the side of his stomach. And I want to ask you something. What will you do when you finally defeat me? That if you even defeated me, are you gonna go back into my father and be his little slave and continue being his little toy to accomplish his dreams and missions? Or are you gonna continue joining UA and become the hero that you always was, just acting like you are? Or maybe are you just gonna go to my father and take him down, and after that taking your place as the king of the underground of not only Japan but also America, controlling everything in the shadows? What will you do, O'Neil? That's if you will gonna even defeat me in the first place. Are you gonna break everyone's trust? What about Kirishima? What he will gonna say about you?" As O'Neil just fall on the ground and said, shut up, stop talking in my head." As after that, Izuku spawned in front of O'Neil and said, "But I'm not talking in your head. I'm not talking anywhere. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So, welcome to the negative dimension, O'Neil. I will be your little torturer for tonight. So, I hope you enjoy." As after that, O'Neil just jumped at Izuku and throw a punch. But Izuku just disappeared, and after that, two other clones of him just be spawning behind O'Neil, as they say, "There is no hope for you here, O'Neil. What will you do? Are you gonna continue playing as a hero, or become the villain that you already are?" As he just throw two punches at every one of them, but after that, both of them just turn into four other, clones of Izuku. They just duplicate. As Izuku said, tick tock, the time is running out. But you know what, O'Neil? You can be something stronger. You can be something more better than you are now. The power of All Might, the power to control someone's mind. And also, as Izuku clones just disappeared, and after that, one of the inner demon's mask just spawned in front of O'Neil, as O'Neil hearing the sound of Izuku saying, "Put this mask on, O'Neil. Join me. Join the inner demons, and both of us can rule this world." As Izuku just spawned in front of O'Neil, and O'Neil just got hold of the mask, as Izuku smiling at him, and after that, he just lifted it up in the air and smashed it down, throwing it on the ground, as he said, "Sorry, but I'm not into working with you. Not anymore." Well, that's a waste. I was, I was wishing for us, both of us, to, be the friends that we are right now. And while that happening, while Izuku and, O'Neil in the, negative dimension, Overhaul has, being fighting against, Lemillion, and also Night Eye, and a couple other of heroes, which is unnamed heroes, of course. In the end, he starts getting out of the place, but, Miriko just come through the ceiling, smashing down, as they start fighting against Overhaul, holding him off, while O'Neil is just on the ground, unconscious, and Izuku is nowhere to be seen. And while that happening, Toga and, Tori, and also Twice, are just watching this from above, as Tori said, "Where is Izuku-kun? Where is he? Oh, O'Neil is unconscious. Maybe I should go down and kill him." As Toga said, "Are you sure about this story? Maybe he's, down there and he might be kinda dead, but are you sure? I don't think it's a good thing to do it." As, Tori said, all right. Oh, Twice, can I ask from you something? As Twice said, "Sure thing." "No, of course." As Tori starts, taking something out of her jacket, or her villain costume. As Twice said, "Are you serious? You are crazy, and I love it." As Tori said, "Please do it for me." As Twice said, "All right." As he just crack his fingers and start working. While that happening in the negative dimension, O'Neill just fighting against Izuku, throwing punches and kicks and everything, as Izuku is just dodging this, sometimes disappear and sometimes just spawning another clones of him, as he just talking, saying, "There is no hope for you here, O'Neill. And in this world, I am in control. Nothing else. Only me is the one that able to control this place." "Oh, yeah? Well, then, how about this?" As O'Neill immediately put his hand on his head, as Izuku said, "What are you doing?" As he just putting both of his arms on his head and immediately just break his neck. As Izuku after that, he just looking on the dead body and said, "Smart kid." And immediately, in the real world, the, of course, O'Neill just waking up as he taking a deep breath, saying, I didn't think that this was gonna actually work." And after that, Izuku just spawned in front of him and said, "Well, well, well, you're actually quite smart. Very, very smart indeed." And after that, Izuku seeing the fight between Overhaul and everyone, he sees that Overhaul has actually managed to defeat everyone. As he goes at him, as Overhaul said, "Where were you? I was worried that you has died." As Izuku said, "Don't worry about me." As Overhaul, turned his back and said, "All right, let's take." Oh, what's this? As after that, Overhaul just feeling his head fall out of his shoulders, as he, with the last, seconds of his life, while his head on the ground, he just seeing Izuku with the sword has already cut off his head, as he just die. As Izuku said, "Sorry, but I need to take you out of the picture. You has already done what I was expecting you will do, so there is no need for you." As Izuku, seeing on the ground Eri still crying, as Izuku goes a little bit down to her and said, "Don't worry, little girl. I'm not gonna hurt you." As to Eri is just scared, saying, "Please, please, just leave me alone." As Izuku said, "Don't worry." And after that, Izuku speaking his earpiece, saying, "Blight, come here. Tori, come here too." As Tori, jumped down with Toga and Twice, as she said, "Toga and Twice will gonna join us." And as Twice just jump into the side, and Izuku seeing something, as he said, "This will gonna be useful. Good, good thinking, Tori." And immediately, Izuku or Tori just throw a smoke bomb on the ground, making a whole, smoke around of them. Blight just come into the scene and run away with, Tori, Toga, and Twice, carrying, Eri with him, while Izuku's still there. And after that, the only person that's still alive there is just O'Neill. Lemillion has died, and also Overhaul has died. It, what was his name? Night Eye, Oraka, Furobi, Kirishima. Also that, Fat Gum, and, Ryuku, Overhaul, and Mimic, and also the other one, which is the one with the confession quirk, and Korono. The only people that left are Izuku and O'Neill. As O'Neill said, "You sick being. I thought that you are my friend for some time, but now I see that you already long gone. So, I'm not gonna hold back on you anymore." As Izuku said, "Well, come to me with the strongest punch that you have." As immediately Izuku go at him with the right punch, while O'Neal going at him to kick him, as O'Neal managed to kick Izuku in his jaw, throwing him up in the air. And before Izuku goes so high, he got hold of his leg and smashed him into the ground. Izuku immediately opened his mouth and shoot a beam of negative energy out of his mouth at O'Neal. O'Neal crossing his hand together to protect himself as much as possible, but he being thrown away. After that, Izuku just put his hand in the ground and take a chunk out, take a rock chunk out of the ground, or, a big rock, and throw it at O'Neal. O'Neal just smashing it with his hand and immediately put his finger in front of him and throw like a shock wave at Izuku. Izuku just dodging this into the left and taking two guns, start shooting at O'Neal, while O'Neal is just jumping left to right. And after that, he got closer to Izuku as Izuku immediately explode one of the guns in O'Neal's face, throwing him away. And after that, he shoot him 3 times in his body. After that, Izuku jumped at him and taking his sword out was about to cut O'Neal into 2 halves. But O'Neal immediately, before that happened, he just clapped his hand together, throwing a shockwave on Izuku, throwing him into the ceiling and out of the underground, the underground hideout of Overhaul. And after that, O'Neal and Izuku right now outside as they both start breathing heavily. Izuku said, you're actually quite good, much better than I thought. Yeah, you should bet on it, that I'm gonna defeat you! And immediately O'Neal starts using more of One for All, 50% this time. Which is, he trained all day and night when Izuku, he was training day and night when Izuku was just running down the street having fun. As he started using 15%, Izuku seeing that he getting faster and stronger, he decided to go go even more serious as Izuku starts, focusing more power into his legs and arms. And after that, he and O'Neal start just jumping on the walls and smashing mid-air. As, Izuku just going at him with some, solid energy blast, while O'Neal is just going at him with a full, air pressure, as they are just destroying the city around of them. O'Neal is not really caring because he wants to destroy Izuku, or at least capture him. And when that happens, everything will gonna be okay, as it's the thing is just going for a couple of minutes while the helicopters of the police the helicopters start surrounding the area. And Tori and the others are just watching from far away as, Toga said, he really don't know what he's doing, right? Yeah, he's so idiot. Izuku-kun, I wish that he, my little plan will gonna, he will gonna like my little plan. And immediately, Blight Star, still holding Eri. Tori told him to leave her and give it, to the girls, as Toga and Tori start, talking with Eri and just making her laugh, actually. As while that happening, Izuku and, O'Neal are just going punches to punches, all bloodied, and, just a fucking massacre around the place. They destroying everything and everyone around the place, as after that they both start breathing heavily. O'Neal's jacket is just ripped off while he's just quite bloodied with his black blood. Izuku is, jacket is also ripped off and he's just breathing heavily. As O'Neal said, this is time to end this. I'm not gonna wait any longer. And after that, he put all his power into one punch. One for all, 100%, all in one hand. As Izuku said, so you're gonna do the same All Might trick? As Izuku immediately put all his negative energy in his right arm. And, getting his arm back and said, well, let's see how this will gonna end this time. And immediately, Izuku go at O'Neal to throw his punch as O'Neal going at him. As before their punch, smashed together, Izuku immediately changing the power into his left arm and dodging the right one, destroying his arm in the process, breaking it, his right arm being broken and all the power still in his left, as just like All for One. Izuku throwing a massive punch into O'Neal's face, throwing him on the ground, making like a big explosion out of negative power around the place. as all was left of the place is just O'Neill dead body without a head, and just a big chunk loosed from the ground, and all the places just destroyed as Izuku standing up above the dead body of O'Neill as he said, "Do you see this, O'Neill? This is my perfect victory! You see this? I win! I am the winner! I defeated you! I defeated the only hopes for heroes to defeated me right now! No one will be ever able to defeat me anymore!" And after that, Izuku hearing someone clapping as he just turned around. Right now he's in his not in his negative form, and he's just breathing heavily as he see in front of him his father just clapping. "Congratulations, son. You did it. You actually defeated him." As Izuku said, "Father, what are you doing here?" As, Hisashi said, "Well, I'm here. I was watching your fight from my house, but I decided to come into the scene and..." As he just rushed at Izuku and got hold of his neck and said, "I just decided that it's time for me to end you because you've been such a pain in the ass, just like your mother." As Izuku tried to throw his negative energy, but he just can't, and after that, Hisashi says, "Such a weakling, I was expecting more of you." As he just put a lots of negative energy into his left arm and immediately stabbed Izuku through his heart. As Izuku just looking at him. "Why are you laughing? There's nothing funny about you, die." As Izuku said, "And who said this is even me?" And after that, Izuku just turned into basically a pile of goo, as Hisashi is surprised by this and said, "What? What is this?" But before he could do anything else, he feels something in his chest as he looking down. He see a sword, and a negative power sword, as after that, the sword just being ripped off of his chest as Hisashi just fall on his knees and immediately look back. Not looking back, he just said, "What the hell?" As he just turned into his normal form, as someone started walking in front of him and said, "What a tragedy, what a tragedy. My stupid old dad really can't even know the real deal from the fake one, huh?" As Hisashi looking at Izuku, still okay. He didn't get the same injuries that he got against O'Neill fight, as he said, "What the hell? How did you?" As Izuku said, "All thanks to my little lovely beautiful girlfriend Tori." As we cut a couple of minutes before, when Tori and the others jumped down from in front of Izuku, and when they just throw the smoke bomb, twice just move into the side, revealing another version of Izuku, because Tori, for some weird reason, she know the perfect information about Izuku, how tall he is, how much he weighs and everything. As Tori told him that this is a clone of yours. Maybe I decided that it will be so useful. How about you just sit back and watch the fight between O'Neill and your clone? And I was wondering, can you, as Izuku said, "I understand what you're trying to do." As Izuku just put his hand on the clone and immediately put some negative power into him, a lot of negative power, which that make the clone of Twice be more durable and more stronger, and because it's Izuku, he have the same personality, so he want to kill O'Neill no matter what, and also his father. As he was explaining everything to Hisashi, as Hisashi said, "You really are just like me, smart, tricky, and strong. You are everything that I ever wanted in a son. Well, welcome to the top of the underground." As immediately Hisashi just fall on his face, and Izuku spit on him, saying, "This is how you pay for killing my mother and my wolf." as Izuku just tap on the head of Hisashi, and after that, Tori and everyone just coming closer to Izuku with, Eri, as Tori just run at Izuku. Izuku just immediately welcome her with open arms as she just hugging him, as she said, "See, Izuku-kun, you're not the only one that can think," as Izuku said, "Thank you, Tori," as he just kissed her this time, not Tori, the one that actually jumping at him. And after that, Izuku just seeing Eri in front of him, he just de-transformed and said, "Hey, I think that your name is Eri, right?" As Eri just hiding behind Toga leg. As Izuku said, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. I was here to save you from the first time. That's why I defeated the bad guy, and this other bad guy, he was trying to take you in and just to torture you just like Overhaul did." As Eri said, "But that kid with blonde hair was trying to save me." As Izuku said, "And you believed it him? He was just tricking you. He was trying to, just take you. He was talking with you nice so you doesn't run away from him. Don't you see that he was trying to trick you? Now see, I defeated the villain. He couldn't defeat it by his own. He just died because he was trying to take you in. And the villains always lose, Eri." As Eri said, "But he was trying to act nice with me." "Yeah, he was just trying to play. He just trying to play the hero route. He was trying to manipulate you, while I am here trying to save you, Eri. So you don't have to worry about anything. From now on, I'm gonna take care of you." As Tori, come from Izuku back and said, "And I'm gonna be your mother, and Izuku-kun can be your father. How about this, Eri? How about this, Izuku-kun? You'll be her father, and I'll be her mother." As Izuku said, "I really don't know about that, but that if you, of course, agree to that, Eri." As Eri just come in front of Izuku and put her hand in his hand and said, I agree." And after that, Eri just, Izuku just hug her, and Eri just feeling how warm his body is, and Tori just join on a hug. While that happening, Ben has already come back into, the hideout, seeing nowhere there, and Izuku and everyone just come back into the hideout. As Ben said, "Huh, boss, where are you? I got the weapons and the army that we need for that." As Izuku said, "The fight has already ended, Ben. We don't need any of those. Thanks to Tori and her fast thinking, and twice Quirk." As Tori just talking with Ben and everyone, as she just welcome back Tech and everyone. As after that, Shinra said, "Hey everyone, good job you done there, boss." As Izuku looking at Shinra and said, "Shinra, where were you? You've been lost for like 2 days. Where were you?" "I was," as Shinra said, "Nah, don't worry about it. That severed guy just forgot to put me in the story for some weird reason. I think his memory couldn't help him." As Izuku said, "Severed? What are you talking about? You're talking nonsense." As, Shinra said, maybe and maybe not. Who knows?" As he just looked at the camera. As Tori said, who are you looking at, Shinra?" As Shinra said, "No one, no one." And after that, Izuku taken care of Eri, and after 1 week, Izuku and Tori has finally been together. Eri has finally got used to Izuku, and Izuku start teaching her about how everything in his world work, not in the old one, because he got control over, Japan, and all of those weapons and army that Ben has collected wasn't just something to put on the side, because Izuku used it to take control over Japan and putting a new law. And after that, he just start searching for the League of Villains to put an end for them. After he finds Shigaraki and everyone else by the help of Toga and Twice, he convinced all the League of Villains to join him because they want freedom, and Izuku can give them that freedom that that freedom that they want. While Shigaraki and Kirigiri couldn't, agree to that. Shigaraki because he's Shigaraki, Kirigiri because he's Kirigiri. What else? There's no other reason. As, Izuku just in the end told the League of Villains to kill both of them. as they actually did this. And Izuku, has being the strongest man in Japan and America even, controlling Japan fully while he just controlling America from the shadows, having some inner demons inside the, biggest companies and inside the White House and everything. And this one gonna leave it off, guys. This is the end of the series. Well, I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you think that I am done here, you are very wrong, because if you watch the trailer, I'm gonna do what if Deku was a bloodbender, just like the comments told me to. So, I hope that you are ready for another villain what if, because and the next time it will gonna so filled with blood. Well, I have nothing more to say then. Severed was here.